Welcome, everybody, to the Nerd Cave News, the one, not the two, not the three, but the one stop shop for all the video game news that you need to know. I am one of your hosts, Zach Zykes, joined along with the man that sells all the art supplies and thrills the ladies, Ezekiel.
See, that's great because I love the wordplay and I love the, what's the word I'm looking for? Synonymous usage of, the name. Like, that not like an anagram type thing, but, I like it. So Easy, Easel, Ezekiel.
Yep, Easy Ezekiel. It's
right.
the alliteration.
That's what I was like. Thank you.
Yep.
So, all right.
Shout out to Murdoch for Easel Ezekiel. It's a tongue twister at the same time.
Right. So definitely up there. Definitely up there for good names. So I keep saying, I feel like I say that every week, but it's not like I keep a list of rankings of official names either.
True.
Just to be fair.
True.
So, but I do like it.
Guys, we've got something awesome to tell you. But first, Derek, tell them where they can go and what they can do.
So you can become part of the ship, part of the crew of the exclusive crew at patreon.com/nerdcave. Just like our wonderful crew members, Brandon Hicks, Richard Newell, Daniel Sanford, Rushing Waters Yoga, the conductor, Marilyn James, and Brittany, the Granny B. Harrison.
Bow, 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 bow. Guys, we got an awesome announcement. This episode of the Nerd Cave News is brought to you by Audible. Audible is your one-stop shop, just like the Nerd Cave News is your one-stop shop for audiobooks, podcasts, magazines, and all the good stuff where you could take back your time. You could take back the time that you would spend reading. You take back the time trying to be entertained, where you could be commuting, you could be washing the dishes, you could be doing all these good things while listening to an awesome book. And my suggestion, guys, for a book to read is the Aragon series. My Lord, I just finished all 4 books, and sweet Lord Christopher Paolini knows how to put pen to paper, baby. Pen to paper. Dragons, magic, evil guys, and the young boy's story to become the hero that he's supposed to be. Guys, all you got to do for a 30-day free trial of Audible is go to audibletrial.com/nerdcave and go support us. Sign up and get your 30-day free trial of Audible. Audible. Build it beautiful.
There you go. But we read. We build it beautiful.
We read. All right, guys. If you want to check that out, it is in the chat. Our trial code and all of that. Yes.
When you texted me that, I did. I literally sent him, guys, the gif of Jonah Hill, like. Ah!
Guys, go check it out. Each person helps support us and Audible. It's a great source that I have been using for years. I've read so many books via Audible, so it's not just something that I like. Oh, we're sponsored by them. It's like I actually love the source. I love the program and everything.
We're not doing it just because they decided to throw money our way. Yeah. We're doing it because we invested in it.
Yep. Guys, you can find the Nerd Cave on a variety of platforms such as YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. You can watch us each and every week on our pre and post show shenanigans. And you can go over to YouTube and watch the replay of the show. And if you like bite-sized nuggets, little nuggets, you can go over to TikTok, search Nerd Cave Network on any platform, and you find all of our goodness. And guys, we've been putting up a ton of content over on YouTube and TikTok. Like we've been just
mainly you.
I'm including you, Derek. I don't pay you anything, but like that, your pay goes to me for all my editing. Okay, that's how this works. That's how it works. Guys, we've got an awesome show. Before we get into that, we are doing our game club right now. September is about to rise up. We're currently playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, but guys, we didn't want you to miss out on the Rise of the Tomb Raider goodness. We were just like, I was like, Derek, I don't want them to feel left out in the cold. I don't want them to be left out in the cold.
By them, he means himself.
I don't want them left out in the cold. Sorry, you broke up there. I don't want to be them left out in the cold. Let's bring them into our hearth. Let's light a fire and let's keep them warm. So, guys, we're extending our game of the month from September all the way to October. So October is also going to be our Rise of the Tomb Raider. So we can all get caught up. We can all be on the same page. And then November, baby. November will be the day for remembering. Mm-hmm. Remember, the 5th of November of gunpowder and treason. V for Vendetta, okay?
I was about to say, I don't remember the rest of that quote. I remember where it's from, but I don't remember the rest of the quote.
I don't remember past that. I got gunpowder and treason. There's more than that, but I don't remember. I don't remember all of it. Ezekiel. Yes. Easy E, as I'm going to call you for the rest of.
There you go.
Easy
there
E.
You go.
For the rest of the episode, we've got a jam-packed episode. We've got a jam-packed episode from THQ making awesome announcements to Star Wars to the Nintendo Direct. Now, I'm going to scroll down. I need to know. Is it in here? Is it in here? Okay, PlayStation News is in there. Okay. Whew. You almost gave me a heart attack, man. Almost.
Nah, bro. You know, about to say, if I didn't have the streak, I would definitely text you to prepare you.
Yeah,
for
I know.
This.
I might just like turn into a ghost. Whew. For a surprise. I'm like, okay, I'm going to see Shuhei. Guys, let's get into the gaming discussion for the week. Number one on the gaming discussion, THQ Nordic anniversary stream has SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake announced, coming soon to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch. Now, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this game.
I have some ideas about this. And by ideas, I mean it's copying something.
I'm not shared with you.
Nope.
I was. See, you were just gonna let me go on, man. You were gonna let me go on. I don't want to leave you behind. You're Lieutenant Dan. I got new legs for you.
There we go.
All right, here we go. SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake. This is the announcement trailer. Okay. The best episode of SpongeBob. The winner takes all.
It's the thrill of one more kill, the last one to fall. We'll never sacrifice their will.
This is Ratchet and Clank.
I was about to say, like, the first time I saw this, I'm like, this is like straight out of Rift Apart. Yeah, this seems to be going through like SpongeBob's greatest hits. So
okay, Mrs. Puff.
Oh, Neptune.
SpongeBob.
PlayStation.
All right, guys. Y'all let us know what you think about SpongeBob, the Cosmic Shake.
And I do have, because they did talk about that it will have the following key features in the game. You can unlock classic and new platforming skills like the fishhook swing and karate kick. Don more than 30 fantastic costumes like Snail Bob and Sponge Gar. Travel to 7 distinct wish worlds like Wild West Jellyfish Fields and Halloween Rock Bottom. Experience all the buddy movie banter with SpongeBob's permanent companion, Balloon Patrick. Meet all your favorite Bikini Bottomites from the series, voiced by their original actors. And enjoy the in-game soundtrack featuring 101 songs from the series, including Sweet Victory.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the premise is either, Amy, but the theme is really cool. Like,
Yeah.
having the original voice actors, that is huge. And being able to do all the different costumes. I hope we get Doodle Bob somewhere in here, Bubble Buddy. Like I just want to see what all they're going to put into this. What are they going?
Starman and Barnacle Boy.
Yeah, all of these things. Are we going to get, the Dirty Bubble? Like, how deep are the cuts, or is this just like surface level, like SpongeBob stuff? Like original actors, that's huge, because a lot of times when they do show tie-in kind of games, you don't get the original actors. You get some,
like a certain movie we'll talk about later on.
Yeah, so don't get me started. Don't get me started, Derek. With this, I want to see gameplay. I want to see what the story is. Like, what's the premise of all of this? Like, what are we fighting? We could see some like purplish, like dark looking things in the background of the trailer and everything. So I want to know more of the story. Like doing the Sweet Victory thing, like instantly, got my attention. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. It's going to be awesome.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain.
So I can't hear you.
Aye, Captain.
But just one thing, but yeah, like by the second or third like purple portal, I was like, this seems like very rift apart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Like when you said it reminds you of something, I was like, and then it was like the portals. Yep. Yeah, I was like, this is rift apart. Yep. Rift apart with SpongeBob. Moving on to our next bit of THQ Nordic news. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed has been announced. We're going to take a look at the announcement video that they showed. Now I got the song in my head.
Yep.
So here we go, guys. This is Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed gameplay trailer. Looks good.
Yeah.
Greetings, comrade. Mother Russia sends her regards.
Mother Russia.
It's all haze, man. There was this little green dude, and he had this like gun and a jetpack, and he really showed the man who's boss.
Really showed the man.
Called himself Crypto, I think. And then he put on those groovy glasses.
They are groovy.
They are groovy, man.
Psychedelic.
Stopped if I wanted to. Mind control, man. I always told ya. And then I wake up, look up, and there he is in his flying saucer, burning whole buildings like they're just marshmallows, man.
Man.
Really far out.
Soon the citizens of Bay City will be embarking on a very bad trip.
Make war, not love. Oh, wait, is that right?
So, do they give a date on this? Okay, they've got a little.
No.
They got a little bit.
I think that was him disguised as a human.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Did you ever play Destroy All Humans?
I was gonna say I never did. I never played any of the Destroy All Human
Okay.
series. Now that they're they've remastered the first one last year, and the second one's coming out. I kind of want to get into them, but it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, I remember playing them when they first came out. I only played the first one. It was really interesting, cool concept, totally different than anything that was around it at that time. Because we had a lot of first person shooters. We had Call of Duty was getting real big. Medal of Honor was kind of cooling off at that point.
Right.
Halo was being Halo. Good Halo back then. So like this one fit into a really interesting space and niche. It was more of those. It was a double A game. It was not a triple A game. It was one of those fun games you'd rent from Movie Gallery or whatever store that you'd rent from, and you'd beat over like a week and then you're done with it. So I'm curious, what does everybody think about Destroy All Humans? Did you ever play it? Are you excited for it? Now is this a remake of one of them, or is this?
I think it's called Reprobed, so I think it's just a remaster.
Okay,
because the first one was just a remaster.
Yeah, like it looks good, like the textures and everything.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that it's been up to the quality of what today. Like it hasn't been totally remade and everything, but it does look still really good. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm excited about it. Some other notable game news that has come out. Outcast 2, A New Beginning announced, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, and the PC. Tactical RPG Jagged Alliance 3 has been announced for the PC. Turn-based RPG Expeditions Rome has been announced for the PC. Derek, take the next few ones for me.
Versus ATV Legends announced for PS5, PS4, Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. Superpower 3 announced for PC. Elix 2 has been announced for PS5, PS4, Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. And lastly, THQ. After all of this, THQ Nordic still has 28 unannounced games in development. That's because they own like 5,000 IPs that they bought over the last couple of years.
It's crazy, These are clearly like I was saying, like the double A, like THQ Nordic has fit themselves in a space that is not indie. It's not AAA. It's like right there in that middle. In the early 2000s, we had a ton of these kinds of games. THQ Nordic has made themselves the business for that. So,
and like you see some of these, like MX versus ATV has been around for a while. SpongeBob, Destroy All Humans remake or remastered. Then you see some ones like Elix 2. Did the first one really sell that well? Like I'm surprised they did a sequel. Outcast 2. Didn't know there was a first one. Jagged Alliance 3. Didn't know there were two other ones. There are some that are just like y'all are just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point with some of it.
It's like, okay, how it depends on the budget of whatever is being made. It's like, okay, we have X budget. We need to make our budget back plus a percentage. It's like, is the base there for those kind of sales? Like, are you getting it everywhere? Is it available on all the different things? Like, I'm not sure, how THQ Nordic is doing, because we did get SpongeBob Brawl for Bikini Bottom. Rehydrated, and a lot of people were hyped for it. It's like, you might be hyped for it, but did you actually buy it?
Right.
Those are two different things. Just like, we're excited for, the Cosmic Shake. Does that mean that I'm going to run out day one and buy it? Probably not. Like there's other games that I want before that. So it's like, are these hitting like nostalgia based kind of stuff? Or is this, is this a certain market that they have just kind of a toehold on?
Right.
So let's move on, guys. This is number 2. This is a rumor. Star Wars game from Quantic Dream has been in the works for 18 months, and the game will be more action-based, according to the report. Now, if you don't know who Quantic Dream is, they've made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. Yes, Beyond Two Souls. Yep. They've made Detroit Become Human. So that's kind of the game that they're known for and everything.
Right. And, for those they're like, they're games with great narrative stories, but it's a lot of point and click adventure. Like there are a lot of choices, a lot of branching things that could happen. Like you choose this one, you could go all. This is like the ending you could get, or like this is like you could close off this mission a lot faster if you choose this versus that. So that's why the second point is the game will be more action based, according to a report. Is very, not to say that it wouldn't be bad, because when you think of like licensed properties like Star Wars, and then you see like a studio like Quantic Dream, who is known for point and click adventures, just as like it would be like if Telltale did it, like when they did the Batman games, or like when they did Walking Dead. Like those are, when you think of those properties, you think of more action, like combat focused games, but they turned them into point and click. So when you first hear this, you're like, don't know if I want a Star Wars point and click. The story could work, but I want a little bit more gameplay. But then you read this and it's like, okay, I feel a little bit better about it. So developer Quantic Dream has been working on its Star Wars project for 18 months, according to Fish reports from Tom Henderson. The studio's 3-game deal with Sony expired in 2018, which of course included Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and the aforementioned Detroit. Since then, the company has been exploring new opportunities and was reported by a French YouTuber to have inked a deal with Disney. Henderson himself has spoke to someone that provided overwhelming evidence that he had contacts with Quantic Dream, and claimed that its Star Wars project has been in the works about 18 months. Interesting enough, Quantic Dream's official Twitter account also, quote, liked a tweet by the Game Post about the Star Wars rumors, although it has since retracted it. And then about the combat. Now that the Star Wars IP is out there for any developer with a good pitch to use, we're bound to get more inventive Star Wars stories from different developers. The latest seems to be Quantic Dream. That's according to the latest report from website Kotaku, who corroborates the rumors around a Quantic Dream Star Wars game, and goes further to say that it will actually feature a more traditional style of action gameplay and potentially even open world multiplayer elements. It's a bit of a surprise to hear considering their history, but it's also interesting to see them try something new. The article suggests that the latest studio they opened in Montreal will likely play a big part in creating this new game, since their current engine in their headquarters isn't designed for that gameplay. Hopefully it won't be too long until we hear more about this game, but if the timeline of it only being in development for 18 months is correct, then they're still potentially very early on developing the ultimate scope of this game.
So for me, like I've played every Quantic Dream game that's come out on the PlayStation except for Beyond Two Souls. I haven't played that.
I know you loved Heavy Rain.
Loved Heavy Rain back in college. Detroit Become Human was really fun as well. It's a very specific type of game. It's not as it's more polished than a Telltale game. Like, it looks visually better. The engine actually runs. But that's neither here nor there.
Concept.
This is my pitch, okay? This is my pitch. If they do this, I'm calling forever champion of every E3 prediction, whatever, ever, okay? Though I have one literally every year. So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there either. So here it is. If it is more action based, like you could do a Jedi and all that, they're not great on that. Like, their action kind of stuff, like, has been, it's been timed action, button presses. It's, very Rome. What is that game? Son of Rome. Rise, Son of Rome.
Yeah, Rise, Son of Rome.
And that's kind of their gameplay, other than decisions. This is what I'd say. It is political intrigue, and you play Palpatine.
Ooh.
And all the inner workings, and you might have multiple characters that you play, and you're manipulating like the Jedi, or it could be some politician. It doesn't have to necessarily be Palpatine. It could be set in a totally different place, but it could be like a politician that is pulling the different strings, doing the different things. That would be really interesting, because we've never had a game that ever deals with that. And yeah, we got more of the political things in the prequels, but it would be cool to see, like, the cool thing about Detroit, or any of them, especially Detroit, there were so many options. So, like, they had even flow charts of all the different things that could branch and change everything. So taking that into a Star Wars game, it's like, yeah, you could do that with like some lazy combat. You know, they might do better. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the chat. What do y'all think on this? But I think it lends itself better to a political kind of game, you know, like where you have all these different machinations. What do you think about that, Derek?
No, I do like it a lot, you know, and it kind of goes back to like, yeah, they're changing their gameplay style. At the core, they've always been about like these intriguing narratives that let you choose how you want your adventure to unfold. And I think something like that would definitely alleviate to their history as a game developer. It's just like, you know, you see all these developers like changing some of their styles and whatnot, but they're still like with Housemarque, like they were the arcade shooter for the longest time, and then they put out Returnal, which is a roguelike, you know, action-based game, but at the core of it, like you see it in a lot of gameplay trailers and, you know, videos, it still has its arcade shooter roots in its game. So just because you change doesn't mean you have to forget who you are.
Yeah, like you look at Returnal and you see the Housemarque style. I'm blowing my desk as I talk. You see the Housemarque style and everything with like the particle effects and all of that. So I think they keep their feel, their look, you know, what they do. But yeah, you can make it more action based. It's not just like their games are more thriller. Like it's like a psychological thriller movie that you get to control out of it. So I'd be down to see a more political side of things going into it, because I think it would lend to their storytelling chops better than like trying to make something that like they try to like ham bone in some combat and everything. Murdoch, I asked the chat, you know, what type of Star Wars game do you want to see? Murdoch says a good Battlefront like the first ones. Yeah, like you know, a good like. I don't think Amy Hennig and Gary Whitta are working on this one. I don't think they're working on this one.
No, they're working on Forspoken.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. They're working on Forspoken. Amy was working on a Star Wars game. That would probably been amazing, but we don't ever get that.
Yep.
Looking at you, EA.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
A bunch of clowns. They go home and they're like, we're great. And they just like putting on their clown makeup and all that.
Clown suit. Yeah, exactly.
To your point, the second one did rub a lot of people the wrong way. It did get better as it went, especially with the anniversary of it the year later. Like the game's really good, but you know, it shouldn't take a year to make a game good. It shouldn't take all the backlash to make a game good. So it's kind of sad what all happened. But now, instead of Disney just putting all their eggs in one basket, we're going to get a lot of cool stories out of it.
Yep.
Guys, we're going to get into the hefty one.
Oh yeah.
Hefty. Like this one's like, you're going to have to spend a little bit more here, guys, to get the good bags, the good trash bags. Cause there are a lot. I'm not saying it's trash. I'm just saying there's
some of it is.
Some of it is, but there's a lot to unpack here. Here. The Nintendo Direct news, which we did a watch along with that. You can watch that if you want to see all of that, or you can watch us unpack it right now. First up, and this is probably the best news out of all of it, was Kirby and the Forgotten Land was announced for spring 2022. Will be the first 3D Kirby game in a long time and will feature wide open areas to explore.
Yeah, so it was, you know, this was one of their, you know, it was right after their Smash character announcement or talk about it, you know, and we all thought, okay, this is the character reveal, and then nope, it's a Kirby game, but it looked fun. Like it's been a long time since I think like since the Wii, since they've had a 3D Kirby game.
Yeah, and like the world looked cool. It looked like, we made a joke on the stream that it looked like a nicer Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they're finally doing it. I want to see a little bit more like the story. Why is Kirby here? You know, I've never played a Kirby game other than the one that came out on Switch. It was like a 2D like side scroller that came out like a few years ago. I played the demo of it and it was pretty good, but like getting a full 3D version of Kirby. Like, I think a lot of people I know, one of the people that are on our Facebook group, Cass, he was like, that was the thing he was ready for. He was ready for 3D Kirby, and now he gets it. So I know he's super stoked for that. Guys, if you're excited for it, let us know. Are you excited?
And just to touch on this, I know we said this too, but it's like spring is loaded. Like, you know, is ridiculous. Like the fall is not looking too bad now.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, the first, definitely February and March, and then somewhat in January. But man, you better file your tax checks early and hope you get it early, because you're gonna go broke.
They're even better. Don't buy Christmas for the kids. Get ready for the spring.
Exactly. Be like, you're gonna have Christmas in about 2 to 3 months after the fact, guys. We promise.
Trust me, kids. You're not gonna want your Christmas presents, because they're not gonna be, unless it's a PS5. That's the only way it's gonna be good. Moving on. This was a pretty big announcement. I'm pretty hyped on this one. Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack has been announced. Will include the N64 and Sega Genesis games, coming out next month in an update with a price and exact date to be announced closer to the time. And I'm gonna let you go through all the various games and everything. But before we do that, how big is this to you, Derek? Like, how hyped are you?
We've seen, like, there was rumors picking up about the 64 games over the last couple months. Now, there were some rumors about the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games coming as well, but we didn't see this here. Sega Genesis threw me for a loop. I didn't think they would do that. But N64 coming, you know, has been pretty much what fans have been wanting, because the SNES, you know, when the online started, the SNES and the NES games were the first ones to come, and they've kind of run their course. Like, they hit a lot of the big ballers, and now you've seen every time they give like an update about what new games every month, it's kind of like the no names, or like the ones you don't care for. So it was time for some additions.
Yeah, and finally getting, like, N64, like I was not expecting Sega. I was watching Kind of Funny Games Daily yesterday, and Blessing was talking about a patent that had been filed that it was it was the most, like, detailed. It was like where the stickers would look like it would go on an N64 controller. So they've also announced that they will have the N64 controller and the Sega Genesis controller that will be able to be used on the Switch as well. For me, I've never really cared for the N64 controller, because it's just flipping weird. I'm a PlayStation guy. Like, the N64 controller, it's like, okay, it's nostalgia, like if you played GoldenEye and all of that. But it's like, looking at the controllers that we have now, it's like we've reached such a pinnacle. Like, N64 controller compared to the PlayStation 5 controller.
Oh, goodness,
Not even the same.
No.
But, Derek, let's go through the lineup of N64 and Sega Genesis games.
So these games will be when the expansion launches, these games will be there at launch, ready for you to play and indulge in your childhood. So for the N64, you're going to get Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Sin and Punishment, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis 64, Winback, and Yoshi's Story. Now, on the Sega Genesis side, at launch, you'll get Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Restar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, and Strider. But wait, there's more. The service will get more N64 games in the future, such as Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Snap, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, and F-Zero X. So, no new stuff about Sega Genesis, but my goodness, like the 64 lineup, like they're coming with some heavy hitters for sure.
I just sent you a funny. There you go.
Why would they do this? That's so funny. And it has like him as his most awkward face too. It's so perfect.
The milk, Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, a lot of great games coming. If you've got Nintendo Online, I would love to know, is this like the expansion pass? Like right now we're paying like $3.99 to like $5 per month, $20 for a whole year if you do it all at once. If it is, okay, say we go to $10 a month for the expansion pass. Okay. I think it's a great price. Like it kind of reminds me of like, Games Pass, like you got Games Pass, $10 for just the Xbox, $14.99 for the Ultimate Edition and everything.
Yeah.
So $10 would not be bad for a whole year. I could see $30, $40.
Yeah, I was gonna say like $30 to $40. Probably the sweet spot of 35 would probably be idealistic, because I mean it's already the cheapest online membership for a year that you can find on the market.
Oh yeah.
By so it's definitely not out of the realm that, I mean, and it'll be worth it, right? It's not like they're just upcharging just to upcharge, right? Now if they were to upcharge and say we're going to get better service support, I'd be all for that too. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, like, yes, they are the cheapest, but they are the worst as well on their online service.
You do get what you pay for.
You do get what you pay for. Speaking of you get what you pay for, Switch Online members will soon be able to pre-order the N64 and Sega Genesis controllers for the Switch. Each will be priced at $50 and will release with the date coming later. With
release date.
Nope.
Release date coming later.
Don't fix it, Derek. Don't fix it.
Okay. So, not bad.
And they look great. They look like full-on controllers without any cables, which is great. Well,
it's like when they did the wireless GameCube controllers. It's nice.
Yeah. They're like, you look at all the Nintendo controllers, they've all been pretty trash. Let's just be honest.
Right.
You got, the first one wasn't that bad, just super uncomfortable. It's a flipping rectangle. Then you get to SNES, and then you've got like 2 buttons here and then 2 buttons here, like this weird diagonal. And then you get the N64 and this weird handle. Then you get the GameCube. What is this? It's a flipping nunchuck and like this weird thing. Wii U, it's this
with a touchpad,
unruly looking thing. Switch, you got left Joy-Con drift all day long. Like
the baby buttons.
And the baby buttons. Don't even baby buttons. Anyway. Another piece of exciting news, guys. Bayonetta 3 gameplay and 2022 release window was unveiled with a potential Devil May Cry crossover. Can we get some love tonight?
Right. So, because it showed at the end, and then even the article was like, it looks like Virgil. So, at the end of the trailer, so it's intriguing. It's been a hot minute, because I think the last time we ever saw or heard anything about Bayonetta 3 was at the Game Awards when it was first unveiled with like just the teaser image back in 2017, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
it was 2017.
Yeah,
that's how long we've been waiting. How long we've been waiting.
It's ironic because, I think we talked about on last week's show in the quick hits. They said Platinum was like, they'll talk about Bayonetta 3 when they're allowed to, or like when they're ready to. So it's ironic they say that, and then we finally get some news. So it's like basically they're telling us, is like, look guys, just be calm, it's coming. Please be patient. So the gameplay looked great. It looks very like you said in the direct, looks very toned down in certain aspects compared to previous iterations.
Yeah. And that being due to Nintendo owning it, and they tend to try to tone that kind of stuff down because they make kid games. They make games that are directed towards kids. So it's like if their seal is on it, yes, Platinum is making it, but Nintendo does own it. It's kind of like with Sony, with Disney, like they tend, like, yes, they own Deadpool, but they're not going to be like, oh, Deadpool, and he's like, it's going to be under different branding. That's how they did it for a very long time. They would make rated R films but
Yep.
they would have it under a branch that they own that was outside of Disney and everything. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be kind of the way they go here, but I don't think they'll go as hardcore as the old
Right.
Bayonetta used to be.
Right.
Moving on, this was also some really good news. We got to see Splatoon 3 gameplay and the return of the Mammalians. Single player campaign has been revealed and no date other than 2022.
Yeah, so it was interesting. More Splatoon. You know, we saw this at the last their E3 Direct back in June. So, and it's nice to see that they showed off the single player campaign for this Return of the Mammalians. Like I thought it was like Return of Creatures because they kind of look like rabbits, but not the case. It's like an original story because I know Splatoon 2, the campaign was solid, but no one talked about it. But it was the expansion that they did, which the name eludes me, but it was about the Octolings. So it's nice that they're giving enough love because the first one was pretty much just multiplayer. So it's nice that they're giving the same amount of love and attention to single player as they do their multiplayer.
Yeah, and you know, they've got some new weapons that are going to be in the game. They've got a mech. They've got a new traversal thing where they're able to like shoot like a thing of sticky stuff. I don't know what it is, and be able to zip across the map and everything. So they are expanding on the gameplay aspects. It's not just going to be, okay, we're just putting out another Splatoon. It's a 4v4 and we've got some new maps. Like they've got new maps. They've got a whole new city. Like we're in a totally different city. Splatsville, I want to say was the name of it.
Splatsville.
So like we're getting more and more of it with the addition of the single player and all of that. You know, maybe this will be the one that I jump into. Maybe this will be the Splatoon that hooks me in, puts its hooks into me. They don't really have hooks, but you get me.
They're tentacles.
Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion has been revealed. Coming summer 2022 will contain newly added stories, locales, monsters, as well as newly added hunting actions and quest rank.
So this is what they kicked off their direct with. And at first, you know, it was like, all right, this is a Smash Brothers stage for the last character. And then you see Capcom, I'm like, all right, no. And then the wheels are turning. And then you see a monster and it's like, oh, they're doing Rise DLC. So this is very akin to when they did Monster Hunter World. And then they announced the Iceborne expansion that came out, ironically, like almost a year after the game. Well, by the time Sunbreak comes, it'll be because Rise came out in March. So it will have been over a year, but you know, close to about a year mark, they're doing a big expansion. And if it's Sunbreak, if they're taking this long, it will basically be Iceborne, where they're doing a big overhaul, like just adding new regions, new stuff, like you listed in there. So it's fun, and it's great that the Switch, you know, because Rise is a Switch exclusive. So it's great that they're giving the same love as if this is their Monster Hunter World, because World never came to Switch. So they're giving it the same treatment as if it was their Monster Hunter World.
And I remember Jared Petty talking about this on Kind of Funny, you know, back in the day when he lived over in Japan, that so many people on the commute, like riding the trains and everything, they're playing Monster Hunter on their PSPs. You know, it's a huge game over in Japan. It's pretty big here as well, but being able to have that on the Switch on the go and getting support, getting more gameplay and everything, I think it's awesome. I'm glad that, you know, they're not just putting it out there. Like the Switch is selling like gangbusters. It's one of the fastest growing consoles in a while because it just sells really well. And now we're fixing to get the OLED as well. And we have the Lite and we have the original semiconductors. Semiconductors.
Right. So
yeah, I'm excited. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak summer 2022. Be there or be
square.
Yeah, be square. Be square. Moving on. The tease that teased the tease. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Final DLC Fighter is to be revealed on October 5th. There were several points in this thing. It was just like, don't tell me, show me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, show me. It's like
you could have put this in a blog post later or before the direct.
Yeah, you could have literally like put it before the direct. It's like, hey, we're not even talking about this. It's like, you might have lost viewers or whatever, but it's like I'm sure more people got upset that they were like, oh, well, we're going to talk about this on the 5th. It's like, okay. Or wait till after and then put up an Instagram post. It's like, oh, the 5th, we're doing this. You know?
Yeah.
Who do you think it's going to be, Derek?
Right.
What is your prediction on the last Smash, the final Smash?
I mean, it could be anyone. I think they're going to go third party for the last character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know. It could be anyone. Like I'm not crazy enough to go for a specific character because one eludes me because I almost said Banjo-Kazooie and I'm like they're in Smash.
Yeah,
so
they're
that's
already
not.
in.
So I don't know. I'm gonna say it's third party character for sure. I don't think we get a first party Nintendo character.
Okay, my prediction here. I even went to the one here. My prediction, guys.
Okay.
The final Smash character is going to be Waluigi. They're finally going to do it. They're finally going to do it. And Waluigi will be the last character that they add to Smash Ultimate. And people will rejoice. People will lose their ever-loving mind because he's been out. He's not been in the game. People have been begging for it. Waluigi will be coming to Smash Ultimate. Calling it here right now. If you think I'm crazy, be gone.
So do you say everyone will rejoice? I'm like, some people will. Some people will be like, you should have been in there in the beginning.
True. He should have been there in the beginning. Dan agrees with me. Waluigi would be amazing. Waluigi. I'm going to win.
So let me ask you real quick.
Mhm.
If it's not, how upset will you be?
I won't be upset at all because I really don't care. Like I want Waluigi to be in there because they literally put Waluigi in every other like game that has a larger cast. But it's like Smash, they don't put Waluigi in there. It doesn't really make sense.
Their biggest roster.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like you put the flipping ice climbers in there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Okay, you put obscure Pokemon in there, but you won't put Waluigi. You put a Fire Emblem character that I don't even know. You put 20 of those characters in there. It's like, dude, bro.
Right.
Do we need to talk? Because I think you got an obsession with Fire Emblem. Like, who's paying you? Who's are you on the take?
Right.
Are you on the take? Put Waluigi in there. That's my prediction. October 5th. If I get it right, Derek, your PS5 comes to me.
Let's not get crazy here. I'll send you a picture of my PS5. I'm not sending you the PS5.
Moving on to another tease. Like, why do they do this? Why did they do this, Derek? Animal Crossing.
Well, this one cut you and Amy hard.
Oh, and B.
And B.
Like, it was just like, I ain't about that life. Don't you even come in my house and lie to me like this. Animal Crossing New Horizons will get its own direct next month, and The Roost is coming soon. I'm glad that we're finally getting, some Animal Crossing. This expansion, this edition will be in November. That's when we're going to be getting the new content and everything. But
yeah,
Animal Crossing has been without new content for a really long time. Like actual new content. They've kind of like recycled a lot of things.
And they said some free content or like some other content will come in November as well.
Yeah. So I don't know what necessarily the Roost is. New Horizons is the first time I've played Animal Crossing. So I
think it's the Roost Cafe.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have literally no idea. I want to know how much is going to be added. Is it going to be something that can be completed in a few hours? Is it something that really expands the game?
Well, if it's doing its own direct, hopefully they'll do enough to make it to where it's like, oh, you can't beat this in like a weekend or whatever.
Yeah. Like it's going to take 15 plus hours. Like that would be nice to actually get something, because you look at MPD, Animal Crossing for a very long time was the best selling Switch game.
It was the quarantine game.
Yeah. So put more out on that. Keep showing it love.
Yeah.
Give it the love.
All the love.
Tonight. Moving on. We got to see some Mario Party Superstars gameplay and maps shown, including Yoshi's Tropical Island from the OG Mario Party, where Toadette can swap places with Bowser at any time. The second was Horrorland from Mario Party 2, where King Boo won't bother you during the day, but at night it will steal your stars. The third, we saw Woody Woods from Mario Party 3, where Monty Mole can change the direction of the board at any time. And then finally, we saw they featured a survival mode to see who can get the longest win streak atop Mount Mini Games.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff, you know, and I said in the pre-show for the Direct, I was like, we need to see more Mario Party. And it was like one of like the first couple games, I think it was like the second one they shown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's coming October 29th. A lot of good stuff. You know, they're going to have like 5 big boards. Like we saw 2 of them at the E3 reveal. And then the other 3 they showed off today. And I don't remember if they talked about it at the Direct or at the E3 showcase, but it's nice that they're going to have like these little hazards that just pop up to annoy you during the board game as well.
Yeah, it's like, it's something that'll be random that will change the game. I think that's, you know, with a lot of board games, you get tired of it because it's almost predictable. Like, yeah, you're playing against other people and their skill, but if the map is working against you as well, it adds that little bit of chaos to it that, you know, is unpredictable. So I've never played a Mario Party game, but it does look pretty interesting. And, you know, like having more, like having, you know, like we saw like a new snow map and we saw the desert map as well on this one. So I know a lot of people that are going to love this new Mario Party. And yeah. Guess who's in this game?
Waluigi.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because guess what? You can't sell a game without Waluigi. That's why the final Smash character is going to be Waluigi.
You hope.
Moving on to a bit of bad news that we saw today.
The most controversial announcement of the Direct for sure.
Miyamoto announced the cast and release date of the Super Mario Brothers movie. It will release December 21st, 2022 in North America. And the cast includes Chris Pratt as Mario, Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan Michael Key as Toad, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, Fred Armisian as Cranky Kong, Sebastian
Maniscalco
as Spike, and Charles Martinet will also appear.
In what capacity, we don't know. But
it said he would be giving like additional voices for the movie.
Oh, okay.
This is being developed by the same people that developed Despicable Me and Minions. So like there is a pedigree there. Like those movies were really good. I didn't watch any of the Minion stuff, but Despicable Me was always really funny. With this, I feel like they're going for the star power route, which is totally fine. Charles Martinet has been flipping Mario for like 30 years. I don't know if he's officially retired or not. I was looking at tweets and said some people were saying that he retired. I hadn't heard that, that he retired. But not casting Charles Martinet as Mario, but still having him as Mario, like in the Mario movie, is like, dude, what is going on here? Now, is this all Miyamoto's doing? No. Miyamoto.
He was just the messenger.
He was the messenger, and I saw like, oh, well, it's Miyamoto's characters, you know, like he gets to decide. It's like, okay, once you bring this over to a movie company.
Yeah, once you go to a different medium, it's out of your hands.
Like you're trusting a company that does this for their business to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, like a lot of this is based off of algorithms. Like I know like Space Jam like has like the joke of it is like, oh, well, we cast roles based off an algorithm. They actually do. It's like who has the most, you know, star power and all that. Chris Pratt, I love him. I talked about this on the quick wrap up of the Direct. I love Chris Pratt. I have nothing against Chris Pratt. I think he will do a phenomenal job. I just don't think he's Mario. I just don't think he's Mario. And, you know, he might surprise me. He might surprise me.
Yeah.
Oscar award winning Mario. I don't know. But when you literally got the man that voices Mario in the movie, I'm just like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
Some other like some fit like Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach and Jack Black as Bowser. I think are solid castings on that one. But the only other ones that are more like just like funny head scratchers, not like like Rage with Chris Pratt, is Keegan Michael Key as Toad and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. It's like Keegan Michael Key can be silly enough to play Toad, I guess, but Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, like I don't know, that's one I definitely can't picture.
I don't either. Like, it's like I don't know. I can go for a long time on this. I don't want to go super long on this section and everything. But hopefully it will do well. Hopefully it will be it'll be great. Like Chris Pratt, he did well.
We got a year plus.
Yeah.
So.
He did awesome in the Lego movie and everything that he's been in recently. So
yeah,
it might be amazing, guys. It might be. Yeah. I'm trying to be optimistical. Murdoch, I'm trying to be optimistic.
We'll have a better idea when that first trailer drops, and then once we hear like the voices and see the stuff and everything, then we'll have a better idea.
Yeah, Murdoch, I agree. Like they're playing the star power card here over playing the gamer card, which there's over like 2 billion gamers in the world. So what do we know? What do we know? But a bit of awesome news that did come out of this direct that I was super excited for. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic will be coming to the Switch November 11th. Let's get hyped, baby. Let's get hyped. Now, Derek.
Right. Mm-hmm.
How hyped are you for this? Like, have you ever played?
No, I've never played KOTOR. It's great for Switch. Don't get me wrong, but now, and this is a no offense to this is a huge get for Switch owners, but since a couple weeks before we've got the remake in the works for PS5, I'm gonna just wait for that.
Yeah, I got you. But we got 2023.
Oh yeah, at the earliest.
Because they didn't even put a date on it, did they?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Like, you've got a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that they don't change the story in the remake. This, on the other hand, it's like I finally get to play KOTOR.
The OG.
On the Switch. I can sit on the couch and play Knights of the Old Republic while I'm on the couch. And now that I've got Bluetooth, I can just pop my AirPods in my ears and, just play all I want.
Yeah. So sorry, Amy. The Switch you're never going to see the Switch again in November, from November till he beats it.
Until I beat it. And then, which that might be bad because all the new Animal Crossing content comes out in November.
It's almost like they did this on purpose.
I see you, Nintendo. I can see past the lies of the Jedi. I can see past them. Our next bit of direct news, Castlevania Advance Collection will be coming to the Switch today and will include Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, and Dracula X.
Yeah, so kind of like one of those like little just like in their montage, like here's some stuff, and move on.
Yep.
So
no Castlevania.
Nice to see Castlevania is getting some like OG love, since they can't make a new game.
Yeah, no Castlevania Symphony of the Night though.
Nope, for sure.
You want to hear my Symphony of the Night?
Maybe. Okay.
I'm sleeping. Like that's my Symphony of the Night.
Oh, I was like, what sound is this? Like, is he cutting out? So.
No, it was me snoring. I was doing a snoring sound. I was doing that. That was my Symphony of the Night. Dad says, Amy going to kill you in your sleep to get her Animal Crossing in. See, I fall asleep. Amy stays up. So that'll be her time to play Switch. So while I'm asleep, it'll be all good. We can share.
Just you gotta know how to utilize your time.
I have no idea how to say this first name. ActRaiser Renaissance remastered version for the SNES. ActRaiser out today.
Yeah, so it's a SNES version of ActRaiser. They're doing a remastered version of it. So another one of those. They did several like smaller stuff that's out today. So another one of those little like, here you go and move on.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna read just some of these because they're just kind of like those.
Yeah,
Project Triangle Strategy, officially called Triangle Strategy. Great name, guys. Coming out March 4th, 2022. Yoko Taro's Card RPG, Voice of Cards. Great name as well. Comes to the Switch October 28th. This was pretty awesome as well. Dying Light 2 Human coming to the Switch via the cloud when it launches February 4th, 2022, with Dying Light Platinum Edition coming out October 19th. I was not expecting to see this, but it makes sense that if the Platinum Edition is coming to the Switch via cloud, that this would happen. I am so thankful that the cloud is like available to people that have the Switch.
Me too. It removes all barriers of like, well, they can't put it on a cartridge. Well, now you have the workaround.
Yeah, and if you're excited for it and you've been waiting for it, you can get it on Switch, carry it around, kill you some zombies.
And real quick, going back to Triangle Strategy, this is from the people who did the Octopath Traveler game, and it follows the same format because it's not only the similar art style. They also started off calling it Project Octopath Traveler, and then just dropped the project and called it Octopath Traveler. So this is literally the same cut and paste strategy for their games. But go ahead.
Well, they have strategy in the title, so like it's great.
Got to stay on brand.
Yeah, it's great. Like when PlayStation decided to move Shuhei out of being over first parties. Anyway. I'm positive, guys, that this next one's going to be awesome because guess what? It's about Mario Golf Super Rush. It's going to be getting new free content, including new characters, Koopa Troopa, and Ninja, along with the new snow and desert courses today. So, correction of earlier, the maps for Mario Party, I was referencing the snow and the desert from Mario Golf. So,
yeah, I was like, I didn't correct you because I'm like, he'll find out in a little bit.
So you could have corrected me right then and there. You just let it go. Anyway, I want to get Mario Golf. I just don't have time for Mario Golf. Like it looks fun, but I feel like, it would be like if I still did Gamefly, it would be a Gamefly game. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those, it's like, I'm not going to buy, but I want to play it. And, getting, Ninja looks super dope. Yeah. Are you hyped on it, Derek? Are you excited for Koopa Troopa?
It's cool. I'm glad they're keeping support of it, but like after a year, like, are you going to keep supporting it?
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
Like Nintendo's always great about their first year of launch supporting their game, but after that, it's like, meh.
Except for Mario Tennis, man, that fell off the map quicker than.
Also true.
Quicker than Ted Kennedy. Anyway,
All right.
Sorry, guys. The Mario casting thing just like
broke your brain.
I'm on it right now. Next one up, Deltarune Chapter 2 comes to Switch today. Chocobo Bobo GP brings a Final Fantasy racing game to Switch next year. We'll have a tournament system with up to 64 players. My lord, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. Also, this is the game that's a ripoff of Mario Kart. Like
to the T, just about.
Like straight up, just like one, Nintendo put it in their direct, so they had to see it. Two, it's like yes, you can't like there's no patent on like kart racers. Like there's like, but this is like so ridiculously close,
blatant.
It's like, is this copyright infringement? Like, is this
like Nintendo probably, like I said in the direct, Nintendo probably got word that they were doing like an exact replica of Mario Kart at Square Enix, and they approached them silently and it's like, we won't sue you as long as you put the game only on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. With it though, the cool system that I did like was if your character, like it could be fire, lightning, whatever, like skill, like magic that you have. If you pick up one of those, it's like the little boxes and everything. If you pick it up and it turns out to be the same kind of magic that you use, that magic will be stronger because it actually works with what your character is more aligned with and everything. So I thought that was a cool little addition, but it does look just like Mario Kart. So yeah, it's weird. That's really weird. Kazoo Boy, welcome to the stream. How you doing, man? Just tuning in. What did you think about the Mario casting? You had to bring it up. You had to bring it up. Nicholas. I don't like the Chris Pratt thing. I like Chris Pratt, but I don't like Chris Pratt as Mario. It irks me. It irks me a lot. Yeah. I'll be putting up my our original reaction and everything, and you'll see how angry I got on that. But yeah, it just makes no sense to me. Yeah. Makes no sense to me. But glad to have you here, man. Moving on to our next segment, Disco Elysium, the final cut, comes to Switch October 12th with a physical edition coming later this year. I know a lot of people love Disco Elysium. A lot of reading. Yeah. But hey, if you're into those deeper, like story-based games, this one's for you. This one is for you. Next, Metroid Dread gets an extended story trailer. And guys, let me tell you, a lot of more Metroid Dread. They did show off that there are multiple different flora and fauna in the game, that it's not just like one, you're in corridors the whole time. That it's more than just metal. We got like desert, we got a jungle, like there's different places and everything. What did you think about that, Derek?
I mean, it was cool to see more of it other than just like the dark spaceship type stuff that we've seen in previously. Yeah. My only thing with it is like, maybe it'll get good review scores too, because the last game we saw so many trailers for, and I personally got tired of was Deathloop, and that thing got freaking tens. Yeah. So I don't expect that from Metroid Dread, but maybe it'll get good reviews. Maybe that's the strategy now. It's like, maybe if we just keep hitting you over the head to secretly tell you this game's going to be good, we'll get you to buy it.
Possibly. I don't think it will always work that way, though.
No, by no means. But one can assume, right?
Real quick aside here. With Deathloop, it was like a loop that kept repeating every time we kept getting a trailer. And
then they kept getting longer. Like, here's a 5-minute trailer. Here's a 3-minute trailer. Here's a 9-minute trailer. And it's like, bro, stop.
Hey, man, that's smart marketing where it's just the loop continues.
I guess.
You know what they should do? They should continue to make trailers for it and keep putting
even after
launch. Just keep putting them out. Like I that would be me if I was a game developer. I'd just keep putting trailers out.
Right.
Kazoo Boy says, I'm also irked by Chris Pratt, but everything else seems workable. Yeah, I think most of it is workable. I like the Jack Black as Bowser. Like, I think that's gonna be really cool to see him as Bowser. And I don't know the voice actress for Peach. Like, you seem to know who she is, Derek.
Yeah, she's done like, she was in Queen's Gambit. Okay. She was the girl in Split and Glass. For like the whole that shared universe with Unbreakable. She's done a lot of good stuff. Like, the only knock was she was in New Mutants, but I mean, her role was good. It's just the movie was bad. Yeah. So she's a really good actress.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm glad. Not saying Chris Pratt can't act. I just
not the role you would put him in.
No, I would put him in like Luigi. Like, he would be a good Luigi. Like, or
that's true.
Or even a Waluigi. Like, I would totally see him as a Waluigi. But neither here nor there. Hyrule's Warrior Age of Calamity DLC expansion, Guardians of a Remembrance, coming out October 29th. Another October 29th. Man, it's gonna be stacked. Will include new story sequences, characters, and stages. I haven't played any of the Hyrule Warriors. Age of Calamity does look really good because it actually builds on the things before Breath of the Wild. So, Derek, would you jump into Hyrule's Warriors?
Age of Calamity?
Yeah.
I would, just to see, what took place before Breath of the Wild, because that's a really good story from what I've read. But I don't know. I'm just not big on the Dynasty Warriors mechanic of
True.
endless waves.
True. Yeah, I remember there was a Gundam game that Dynasty Warriors done.
Yeah.
And you could play like G Gundam characters, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, got to get to play G Gundam characters, but yeah.
That got stale real quick for you, didn't it?
It's not me. Like Justin had it, and I was
Yeah.
like watching. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. Ain't for me.
Fair.
It's not canon, really? That's crazy. Because you told like this would be perfect to like tie into the story and all of that.
Interesting.
Zelda,
But then again,
I'm just saying, Zelda and its timeline, like it's like looking at a
Star Wars.
Jackson Pollock painting. It's like trying to make
yeah.
make heads or tails of that, or like trying to talk to Andy Warhol after going to Studio 54. Like you bet you got better luck at doing something else. I'm over here pulling like these random references tonight, guys. This Mario casting's like really got me all topsy-turvy.
These last four you can just kind of breeze through.
Okay. Disney Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition comes to Switch this holiday and will include DLC from the original 3DS version. Shadowrun Trilogy will bring 3 classic RPGs to the Switch in 2022. Rune Factory 5 coming to March 2022. My lord, couldn't you just put it on the 23rd? Arcade Archives Pac-Man and Arcade Archives Exvius adds more arcade classics to Switch today. Oh, we're out of the woods, man.
I know. We're finally to the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, like I feel like, did you watch Frozen 2?
No. I haven't even seen Frozen 1.
Okay, Frozen 2 is great. Okay, not even gonna lie. Frozen 2, really good. Really good.
Okay.
Frozen 1, all right. Like, like it is.
Because a lot of sequels just seem like cash grabs.
This was not. Like, this was good storytelling, and the music was ballin', man. There's a song called Into the Woods. After the show, I want you to watch. I'm like, go look it up and listen to it. It's amazing. We're out of the woods now. We were lost in the woods.
But now we're found.
Because, guys, here we go, baby. We back home. We spent all day in Nintendo land, but guess where we're going?
Yeah.
We're in the PlayStation News, baby. We're in the PlayStation News. Did I just become a New Yorker for that? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's Spider-Man.
Hey, Spider-Man. Move the crane. The Spider-Man. The new PlayStation 5 model is no better or worse than the launch model. Oh, that's what they want you to believe.
Right. It's like what are you saying here? So testing is in from multiple outlets, and most recently Digital Foundry and Gamer Nexus weighed in on the issue that PlayStation players have been worried about. That being whether or not the new model PS5s are actually better or worse than the launch model. And the answer is that neither is better or worse. It's still just a PS5. Each outlet presented their own video on the topic, with Digital Foundry testing the differences between the consoles on a performance level, while Gamer Nexus focused on the potential temperature differences between the hardware. In both cases, neither of them recommended you attempt to find one or the other. They're both PS5s, and they both work as intended. And as Digital Foundry points out, changes like this are intended and nothing new.
Okay, I'm glad.
I'm glad. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, tit for tat. I guess it just depends. It seems like, compared to last week where they said it actually ran hotter, and then some say it actually ran cooler. And I think it just comes down to luck of the draw, just like any other console you buy. Like, 9 of your friends can buy a PS5 and have no problems. You buy the one that has a problem.
Yeah.
It's just math.
And a lot of it, like PlayStation is using various like fan manufacturers to put in here. So you could be getting different fans in there with a different amount of blades. So they might run slightly different. So they might be pulling different air with these different, benchmarks that these companies are doing. You're also like, okay, well, I put it on a desk. Well, I put it near a wall. Like, it could be different, like what they're getting because of where they're placing it. What's the airflow? Like, you think, like my PS4 sits on the back of my desk and it's pretty open, but it does have a mixer beside it. And then it does have like the Switch dock beside it. So it's like, it's not like jammed into, a console or, like a TV console or anything, but it's like,
Yeah,
It's gonna vary and change from person to person.
100%. So that's what I'm getting from. Like at first, I read that when I saw this, I'm just like, oh my gosh, now how much are they trying to backtrack? But after looking, doing more research, I'm just like, seems like any other console you'll get.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta have the luck of the Irish.
To Kazoo Boys, we didn't talk about this in the N64, so I do want to hit this real quick. That
Okay.
some N64 games will have online multiplayer, such as Mario Kart, Star Fox. So that's pretty dope. Like being able to like have those older games be able to be online and be able to be played.
Yeah, that is a good point though, and I meant to bring it up in the post direct, but I forgot. But yeah, it's like a lot of these games that were couch co-op
Mhm.
back in the day are like online. It's like how do you make this work? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's obviously possible, but like how much server maintenance and how much work did you have to put in behind the scenes to get this to happen?
Yeah, it's cool. Like it just goes to show you that they can resurrect an older game and make it where you can play online, because there's a lot of games that I would love to go back and play. I'm not a huge retro gamer, but like being able to, like GoldenEye, my lord, if they brought GoldenEye back, like got the rights and everything, because Rare did make it, bring GoldenEye back and then make it online multiplayer. How many people, guys, put a 5 in the chat if you play GoldenEye online when people like that would be a stream game for me, because the GoldenEye, the times that I was a PlayStation kid, when I would go over to a friend's house, we play GoldenEye. Like that was just one of the cool things that we do. So yeah, but B does make a good point. Nintendo Online is not that great.
Well, by the time this drops and with the expansion pack, maybe they'll have better servers. I don't know.
Maybe.
I doubt it, but one can hope.
Maybe. Back into the bosom that is PlayStation 5. More Gran Turismo news. Dev explains why the campaign requires an internet connection. Also, the dev was able to make the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5s without dropping any quality.
Yeah, so about the internet requirement, quote, the requirement for the online connection isn't specific to the cafe per se. It's just to prevent cheating overall from people trying to modify the save data. So that's the reason for the online connection. And just to update on the feature itself, there's 2 functions to it. One is to direct the user to the next objective meeting, and also to get them involved in collecting some of those cars. And the other is when they come back with the cars they've asked to collect, it gives a little bit of background history for the culture and the history behind these significant cars that they have added to their collection. Following up to the no dip in quality between PS4 and PS5, quote, in a racing game, you can adjust the level of detail. Technology-wise, it is very, very scalable game in terms of maintaining the frame rate and everything else. We found that we were able to make a PS4 version and a PS5 version without dropping any quality. So that's why we decided to do both at the same time. The loading time is so different between the PS4 and PS5 that it's a completely different experience. That's just something that's unavoidable between the two. With the quality, of course, the frame rate, because you have a better processor in the 5. Obviously, you're going to have way longer load times on the 4 than on the 5. But it's glad to see there's not going to be a drop in quality, given that a few months ago we talked on, when they delayed God of War, when they delayed Gran Turismo, they said they're also be coming to the PS4, and Gran Turismo developer came out and said, this is like a last minute thing that we had to put on, that we were told to do on PS4. So it kind of puts my mind at ease that it's going to be terrible quality.
Yeah. And, I know it's like, okay, it's last minute or whatever. I'm glad that there's no drip in quality, but it's like when you have a console that sold over like 130 million units, it's like,
we need money.
Yeah, especially like Gran Turismo, when it hasn't performed as well over the last few, the last entry did not perform as well, didn't sell as well. So, like they're wanting to recoup their money because they've been working on this one for quite a while.
Yeah.
Moving on to some more news on this wonderful, wonderful game. The Gran Turismo will have ray tracing on PlayStation 5, but is restricted to the replays. Will have a 25th anniversary edition for $90, and it will come with 1.1 million credits. The Toyota GR Yaris with country-specific livery. 30 manufacturers and partner PSN avatars. The soundtrack, 3-car pack of the Mazda RX Vision GT3 Stealth model, the Porsche 917 Living Legend, and the Toyota Subaru GT500 97.
Yeah, so a lot of great stuff because I know they announced this week
Mhm.
and up for pre-order. Comes with a steelbook too, but it's nice. You know, $90 is reasonable too, and you get a good amount of content.
Yep. I miss a good GT. You know, like this one. Maybe I'll feel the need, the itch. But you know,
Now, one thing, now it may include both versions.
Mhm.
Just they didn't say one way or another, but when they showed off the 75th, it looked like it was only for PlayStation 5. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. You mean the 25th?
Yeah, the 25th. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Same. I played the mess out of the original and especially Gran Turismo 2. Like Gran Turismo 2 is my favorite of all time. Gran Turismo 3, it was all right. I felt like they were changing them too much, and then I kind of fell off after that. But 2, I probably put like 400 hours. Me and my brother put like over 400 hours. Derek, I'm gonna let you take these PlayStation quickies.
Okay. So to wrap it up, PS5 firmware update seems to improve performance in some games. Firesprite Studio is working on a quote new AAA narrative adventure game. So they're seeming like other PlayStation studios, and they've got multiple projects in the works. Because last week we talked about them working on a PlayStation VR game, probably a Horizon VR game. Only time will tell. Sackboy: A Big Adventure is adding Abby and Ellie costumes from The Last of Us Part 2, and that is coming out on Sunday, September 26th. God of War Ragnarok listed as, quote, coming soon on the PlayStation website, but release date is still TBA.
I think they're just putting it as a placeholder. It's like coming soon.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean, you know, like you look at movies and all of that, doesn't really mean anything. Like until they put a date on it. And as we've always said on the show, I'd rather them not put a date on it or delay it than promise me something that isn't going to happen or rush a game that is crap. You know, that
100%.
I would rather have that. Just, you know, it's coming soon. You know, that's what I need. That's what I need. So there you go, guys. That's the PlayStation news for the week. We're about to jump into the quick hits, but we see a lot of new and friendly faces here. We're just glad that you're here. Welcome to the Nerd Cave.
Yep.
I'm Zach. This is Derek, also known as Easy E.
Easy E.
For this episode.
That's my name, right, for this episode.
We're glad you're here. If you haven't already, hit the follow button. We're just glad to hear. So let's move on to the quick hits. Derek, I hope that you've been
the best of the rest, as some people might say.
That's good. The best of the rest. But can they stand up to the test, Derek? Here we go with the quick hits.
Let's go. So first off, you can now get Kena Bridge of Spirits outfits in Fall Guys. Overwatch 2 updates confirmed for Overwatch Grand League Finals on September 25th. That is this upcoming Saturday. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC on November 16th. But remember, if you remember us talking about it last week, the PS4 and Xbox One versions have been delayed to a later date. Lord of the Rings Rise to War is out now on iOS and Android. Mega Man's Rush comes to Monster Hunter Rise on tomorrow. Saints Row to feature cross-gen co-op and most in-depth character creator in series history. Phasmophobia Anniversary Update adds single-player mode. Rumor, CD Projekt Red looking for open-world designer for new CRPG game. This is one for you too, Zach, because I know you like this series. Jackbox Party Pack 8 introduces a new Drawful, a deception game, and more on October 14th. Sea of Thieves Season 4 starts today. Halo Infinite will hold 2 multiplayer weekend tests back-to-back, the first starting today through this upcoming Sunday, with the second being set for next Thursday, September 30th, and will run through Sunday, October 3rd. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 remaster discussions have reportedly begun. Ubisoft confirms that Far Cry 6 won't have ray tracing on PS5 and Series X and S. For the first time in 17 years, Owen Hart will appear in a video game in the AEW wrestling game. Pokemon Unite is out now for iOS and Android with crossplay and cross progression. Neo: The World Ends With You comes to the Epic Game Store on September 28th. Bloodshore is an interactive battle royale film coming to PlayStation consoles, Xbox consoles, Switch, PC, iOS, and Android this November. New report claims Xbox Live sees more outages than PSN, but Steam is worse than both of them. Hollow Knight Silksong potentially leaked, release date potentially leaked and coming February 1st. Titanfall 3 is not in development in any way, confirms Respawn, but says it is still, quote, the very core of our DNA. And lastly, Xbox will soon let you switch back to your 360 gamer pick for a hit of pure nostalgia.
I think my gamer pick is still my avatar from the 360 when they introduced avatars.
Oh, nice.
So like it's been there for a long time. The three that I wanted to touch here real quick in the quick hits and everything. Overwatch 2 updates. Like there's a lot going on over at Activision. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
We haven't beat that drum. But
More people left this week.
yeah, more people left this week. I feel like Overwatch 2 is not in.
I'm gonna suffer.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 is probably not in the greatest place. I think we might get to see a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to be released anytime soon, and that's totally fine. Like I don't want this rushed.
They keep trying to hit it like early or like springtime next year, but who knows?
Yeah, so I'm. If you're an Overwatch fan, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
Right.
The next one was Owen Hart being in the AEW game. Like this is huge. If you don't know Owen Hart, he passed away after an accident in a match where his cable broke. He was coming from the rafters and he hit the ring and it killed him instantly. It might not actually. No, I don't think it was instantly. It killed him. Like it was super painful and everything. But Owen Hart was a great wrestler. He's the brother of Bret Hart. You know, his father was a legend that trained a lot of people. So getting to see Owen Hart in this is huge. And for them to allow this to happen, like his wife and like his son and all of that, it's really cool. So if you're into wrestling, if you're a huge fan, I know I definitely am. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I don't watch anymore, but like I'm an old kind of wrestling fan and all of that from back in the day. So that was really awesome. And then last thing, Titanfall 3, Easy E. Okay. You can't say that something's the very core of yourself, but you're not even working on it. That would be like Guerrilla Games being like, oh yeah, like, you know, Killzone, the very core of our you know, of our DNA.
Here's Horizon.
Here's Horizon.
Right. And I know, like, you know, they did some crossover content with Apex, like, earlier in the year. But there's been this whole discourse of back and forth between the next, you know, about Titanfall 3 has been going on for at least a year. You know, and they played ping pong with EA, you know, ever since they've been bought. The hot question is, all right, we're going to get Titanfall 3. And they're like, and Respawn's like, that's up to EA. Then EA's like, it's up to Respawn. And now it's just like this, you know, for lack of a better term, tug of war. You know, like just being like, who's going to do it? You know, it's like the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. It's like, you. Yeah.
And it just, I don't think it's going to happen. Like the first one didn't sell super great. You know, it was just multiplayer. Like anytime games come out that are just multiplayer, it was one of the better launch games of the Xbox One. It wasn't necessarily a launch game, but it was early on in the cycle and everything. Titanfall 2, what I've played of it was phenomenal. The story and everything. I didn't really play any of the online side of stuff. But I don't think we ever see it happen. So
nope.
You know, and that's kind of sad because it's a cool universe. The story was great in the second one. I don't know if you ever played all the way through it either, Derek.
No.
So we're on the same place. You know, if you're interested in it, Go play it. Go play it. Support it
Yeah.
and see. But don't hold your breath, guys.
Maybe it'll be a game club game in the future. Who knows?
Maybe. They do have the traversal is dope in that game. Really, really awesome. So guys, there you go. There is Nerd Cave news for the week. It's done. It's in the books.
Yes, sir.
It's gone gold, baby. It's gone gold. We're about to wrap this puppy up. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all those good things. Follow if you're over on Twitch. And guys, go to Twitch and follow us there. Go to TikTok. All the places Nerd Cave Network. Get all the good stuff each and every day. We're always putting out awesome things. And again, shout out to our sponsors, patreon.com/nerdcave. You can go be a part of the ship, part of the crew, and you can get an awesome audiobook, audible.com, audibletrial.com/nerdcave. Go support us over there, guys. You get 30 free days, get you an audiobook. They're amazing. Take back your time. You want to be educated? You want to be entertained? Take back your time. You got a long commute? Boom, take care of. You got to wash them dishes? Boom, audiobook. They got magazines, they got podcasts, they got all those good things. So thanks for our sponsors, and thank you all for supporting us. Easy E. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you as always. So it was another fun one.
Another fun one. You got to see me in rare form. I was a little angry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little angry. I'm over here talking.
It's been a minute.
I'm literally like bringing up like Jackson Pollock and Andy Warhol, like Ted Kennedy. Like, when have I ever done that?
Not in a long time.
Exactly. It's like
since probably like Nerd Cave first iteration.
Yeah. So it's not gonna happen again, guys. We love you. You have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, your night, whatever it may be. This has been Zach.
And easy as Easel Ezekiel.
Have a blessed week. Bye.